On November 3rd, BRHP had the honor of hosting Maryland State Superintendent of Schools Mohammed Choudhury for our third and final BRHP in Conversation event of the year. Superintendent Choudhury kicked off the event with an insightful presentation titled Blueprint Deep Dive, Neighborhood Indicators of Poverty. In the presentation, he provided a high-level overview of the blueprint for Maryland's future, which he described as the most important state education law that's been passed in the current era. He also provided a background on poverty, how it's measured in education, and why measuring poverty matters for resource allocation. When thinking about poverty, it's important to view it as more than income. Superintendent Choudhury described poverty as many factors that come together to impact a person's life trajectory and outcomes. It shapes the type of housing you can access, health outcomes, the type of teachers you get, the resources you have, the levels of crime around you, life expectancy, and more. Notably, he shared that the largest factor shaping student outcomes is socioeconomic status, and the largest school-based factor is the teacher in front of them each day. The presentation also included the limitations of data and the impacts of concentrations of poverty. This background on poverty provided the foundational knowledge for understanding the blueprint. In bringing it to a local understanding, Superintendent Choudhury shared Maryland's timeline and progress towards a neighborhood indicator of poverty and how it will be applied across the state. Lastly, he touched on his previous work in San Antonio and Dallas and using neighborhood poverty indicators to successfully increase opportunities and improve achievement rates for students disproportionately affected by systemic barriers. Following his presentation, Superintendent Choudhury participated in a Q&A with BRHP Executive Director Adria Crutchfield and our housing and education partners. The Q&A session helped us to better understand his background and experience and approach to closing achievement gaps and making sure all students in Maryland's public schools have access to a world-class education. We thank Superintendent Choudhury for joining us. We look forward to being a partner in the transformative work his office will undertake through the Blueprint for Maryland's Future to put more Maryland students on a path to academic success.